Hey,
How's it going?
very well. I was on here for like a brief second and I saw you and you were just like, "Doo, doo, doo, doo." I was like, hello, hello. But I don't know what happened. So I left and
No,
joined again. So no idea what happened. But I'm here. Hey guys, it's me, Halloween Dan.
not ScareDad.
And welcome to the Middle Aged Men Talking About Halloween podcast. We are today talking about some of the early arrivals of some of these things, everyone from Spirit and Lowe's and all those other fun places. And in part two, on my friend ScareDad's channel, we will be talking about where we see the year going and some of our predictions for what we think will come out in the year to come. So make sure you head over to his channel right now to go and watch part two. But stick around for part one because it's about to get interesting. How are you?
Good. Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah.
So far, 2025's already been interesting, huh?
I know, yeah. A lot going on already. I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
Even just in those first few days, I was like, oh my God, there's like literally this potential 6 videos here. I'm like,
I
this
know,
is
right?
crazy.
How was your Christmas?
Yeah, quiet was really nice. Just spent with family and didn't really go anywhere or do anything. Just let the kids rule and play with their toys and stuff. So yeah, it was good. Yours?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. It was, we had family over Christmas Day, and it was a little bit smaller than usual. A few people couldn't come, and it's nice though. Yeah,
Nice.
Saul had a good time. He got everything he wanted, so that's
Very
all that
good.
matters,
That's the main thing. As long as the kids are happy,
right?
that's it. It's like I don't know how it happens every year though, because it's like Santa really needs to sort his stuff out because every year Santa says, you don't need as much stuff this year, and somehow a giant pile of stuff works its way under that tree. So I don't
Right.
know. He needs to get himself together. I think
I
something
think
tells me he gets a bit of spending anxiety towards in the last few days.
right. Yeah, I get the feel Santa looks and says, "Oh, I don't know if there's enough stuff. I better get some
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
things."
I think like in our case, it's like I think Ella might have a few more things than Finn's got. Better buy a few
Uh,
more things for Finn. Get a big. Come on, elves, crack to it. It's like,
right.
yeah, not sure. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
that's what happens.
I hear you. And
Yeah.
all the time I'm looking, I'm like, "Oh my God, I got Sal all these gifts, and now with the stuff I can't get for Halloween."
I know. I know. Yeah. I just watched my bank account slowly draining of money. I was like,
Right.
oh no, that was definitely destined for an animatronic. It's like, what's going
Uh,
on? So
oh
yeah,
well, the
no.
kids got to get their toys too, so
Well, this is true. This is true.
you
This
know,
is very true. Though I
yeah,
am waiting for the year when one of them, at least Finn, turns around and says, "Can we just put our money towards something cool for Halloween?" And I'll be like, "You know what? That's a cool invest for the future."
right.
That's a good investment there. Yeah, good idea. Good
Just
idea.
Santa,
Distortions.
right? The Santa stocking, it's just one little box and it says, "I owe you one
Yeah,
animatronic."
yeah,
There
that's
you go.
right. Yeah, we will get the Frankenstein animatronic.
Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
speaking
yeah,
of distortions, they're already hot at it. Like as usual, that's what they do. But
of course it's their time, isn't it? January is always their time, really.
yeah,
Well, end of the last year, beginning of the new one. It's
yeah,
always distortions time, and I'm so glad it is. I'm glad they dominate at this time of year.
absolutely. They should have the spotlight. So
Of course. I mean, crazy. We might as well talk about it straight off the bat. I mean, straight away, I thought when we saw the Banshee, I was like, cool, very very cool. Like you kind of said in your video, personally prefer the animatronic,
of
but only
course, yeah,
because I love that animation. Other than that, this is a still awesome looking thing, amazing.
yeah. Did they change
Uh,
up the paint job too? Right?
it
And the
looked,
clothing, like it's like a more of a tanner color, and it almost looks like it's the skin has more detail painted on it.
yeah. When I was doing my video, I was like kind of looking at the two, and yeah, the Legends one definitely has a slightly more, yeah, more tan look to it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
less
earthier.
bluey grey. Yes, earthier. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
And I
definitely,
feel like there was more like
100%.
spotting on the skin and stuff like that.
Definitely. I think it's just that thing of, obviously an animatronic's moving and you're probably not paying attention to a lot of, oh, look at the freckles or anything, you know. But I think when
Right.
you've got a static prop, you've got to make those little details stand out a mile. And yeah, I completely get that. I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I loved how they made the stand so it looks like she's floating. That was cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
that's
nice
really
touch.
cool. Really, really cool. And the fact you can open and close the mouth. I know it's maybe a bit annoying, but the fact that they have actually put, you know, they could have just had her with the mouth open or the mouth completely shut.
Right.
But the fact they've, you know, added that as a feature, that is a very cool feature to add, I have to say.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So
and you could
yeah,
always stick a hose in her mouth if you wanted to get the spray out. You could do that.
right. Just when people walk up, you just stand next to it and just open the mouth yourself and scream,
Yeah, just
ah!
yeah. Why not? That'd be fun. I could do
Right?
that. Definitely, definitely. Save yourself a few money. Wire up your hose.
Dude, you just saved yourself $2,000, right?
Just like hold there a second. Wait, just stand right there.
Right?
Just hang on. Like, turn it on the tap. Worth every penny. Worth every
There you
penny.
go.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's super cool. And like you said, the mouth mechanism looks great. And it makes
Mm,
sense, right? Depending on how far from the audience you are, you might want to open it more or less.
of
I
course.
think she looks cool with it just open just slightly. So you're just
Mm,
kind of starting to see that
yeah.
smile.
Yeah. I like the fact as well, especially I think if you've got like a scare walk, perhaps, you know, like a walkthrough, that different times of the day, depending on when you open, I suppose, you could have her, you know, you could walk by, mouth shut, and you're like, and then maybe the same family come through later that night and they're like, oh, this is nothing to worry about. And suddenly the mouth's wide open. And just little things like that. I like that. I think
Right?
it's a nice little, you know, a surprise that maybe some people wouldn't be expecting. So
That's
I
true.
think that's
Yeah,
kind of
like keep
cool.
it closed during the day, right?
Yeah.
So if people
Yeah.
drive by or something, it just looks like a
Exactly.
normal
And then
banshee
a
as opposed
normal
to
banshee, just a normal hovering
right.
woman, you know,
Yep.
just, you know, they're just like they're all hanging about hovering all the time, these banshee women. So, yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. What did you make of the mummy, though?
Mummy's amazing. I
Mm,
love it. I think it's so cool. The sculpting's awesome. I love the face. Everything really.
yeah,
There's
it's
not much I would change with it, other than
no.
making it move. If I could
Yeah,
unlegend it and make it a moving
yeah,
animatronic.
yeah. I stand with you there. It's incredible. It's the eyes. I was like, the minute I saw those sort of cloudy, milky eyes, I was like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. That is so cool.
And the mouth, they always make the mouth look nice and wet and
Lord, yeah, just like really gooey, drippy grossness. It's like, yes,
yep.
this is amazing.
What do you think of the heart feature?
I liked it, but
Yeah,
I was kind of like, I saw it and I was like, I can tell like they've added that because I know they always like to add a light up feature. And I did
right.
think, was that like an afterthought? Did they think, oh, what can we put in his hand? Oh, we'll put a heart in his hand. But I personally like it. I quite like it. I maybe would have preferred to see it less red. I know that sounds weird, but like more like a
Yeah,
crusty old heart, like almost like it's
right.
his heart, you know, like he's just pulled his own heart out or something. And so the fact it's so bright red, like it's like a fresh heart, you know. But I don't know. It's still pretty cool.
If they could have made it instead of a light up, like an actual
Mm.
like pumping something where, it
Yeah,
pulls the air in
yeah,
and out and you actually see it beating,
yeah, yeah.
I think
No,
that
that
would
would
be
have been
cool.
pretty awesome. Very cool.
Because I don't need every prop to light up.
No, no, not at all. Especially with like a static prop, you can add the lighting to a static prop better than you
Right.
can with an animatronic. So yeah, I 100% agree. I do like it. Like I always liked the witch, the pumpkin witch with that little creepy little lantern thing. I do think they are cool in their own way. I did look at that and go, I'm not sure that was necessary per se, but I like it. And I'm not going to take it off. If I bought it, I would use it. I like it.
Of
I think I
course.
just
Yeah.
kind of wanted to see like some, I don't know, like some goo, like it just pulled it out of its chest or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I thought might have been missing a little from it. But yeah, like a pumping action would have been really cool too.
Don't they remove the heart though? Is that something they remove or no? I
Well,
don't
they
know
do,
actually.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
mummy, isn't it? So like they
Yeah.
do, they take the heart out. Oh no, hang on, no, the
I
heart
can't
they
remember
leave
if
in.
the heart they do
That's
leave it. Okay.
the heart they
I know the
take out the
brain comes out.
brains,
Yeah.
out the nose, and all that. It's the heart they leave in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so whose heart is it?
Right?
So,
That's the
but
real
I don't know.
question.
That is a real question. No, I like it. There's nothing about it I don't particularly like. Like I say, the heart was the questionable. Is it needed? But
Right.
everything else looked amazing. The only thing I did think initially, obviously, I read the name, but I was like, it doesn't scream mummy to me. Like, not initially. The
Right.
more you look at it, you go, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. They've like got that dried out body. It's all kind of sucked in like it's been mummified. Yeah, okay. And there's the bandages. Yeah, I get that now. But initially, upon looking at it, I was just like, whoa, what an awesome zombie prop. Initially.
Right. And honestly, you could play it either way. I think it's how you dress up the background with it.
Of course.
You know, if you make it all Egyptian, you're probably gonna say, "Oh, cool mummy." But if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you put it with a bunch of other zombies, no one's gonna say, "Oh, why is there a mummy with the zombie?" Yeah. So
It's just another cool zombie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of cool. I like that. I like the way you can mix that up. So
yeah.
yeah, very, very cool. And then
Now,
we've got the
hold on, before we leave, I gotta ask the question because this is what everyone else does. Should they have changed the heart for a lantern?
no,
Everyone always puts a
no,
lantern for every
no,
Halloween prop.
no. Yeah. Now you see that I'm a lantern guy. I like a lantern on props. I don't know why I do, but no, no. Keep there are there's too many, right? There's too
Yeah,
many lanterns now.
yeah.
Everything's got a lantern.
I'm definitely joking. Like you got vampires with lanterns. You've got friggin' what's his name? The H.P. Lovecraft
Oh,
god from
oh
Party
yeah, he
City.
had a lantern. Yeah,
Okay,
he
yep.
did, didn't
He's got the lantern. You get the zombie coming out of
he?
the ground. Apparently, he has a lantern underground. Like why does everyone have a lantern?
You know, it must be dark underground. They need a lantern. So,
Right?
like, but I don't know. I think I've always liked that graveyard. Like, I like the graveyard guy in the graveyard groundskeeper kind of guy. That with a lantern, sort of looking out over the graveyard.
That's
That's
perfect.
cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, I kind of get Dracula a little bit because, like, a little bit. Maybe no, I don't. It would make more sense with a candelabra. That makes sense. Like
that
if
would
he's
be
holding a
cool.
candelabra,
Right,
lantern maybe not. Lantern doesn't make a lot of sense. So
right. Why are they just going to give somebody a regular flashlight?
yeah.
Right? Why are all
Yeah,
these
this is the
props living in the
21st
past?
century.
You
Yeah,
know?
give this guy a flashlight, give him a torch, give him
Yep.
something massive. Don't give him a mag light. He doesn't
Right.
need he doesn't need like a lantern from the 1800s. So
Right.
yeah, they've got to put something in these guys' hands. I think that's what it is. I think they're like they built these props and they're like, what are we gonna do with the hands? I don't know what can we do. Lantern all
Right.
the way.
Definitely.
Easy, problem solved.
So
Yeah.
now the other prop that could use the lantern, we'll talk about the wolf spider.
Oh. Yeah, the wolf spider I like. It's my least favorite of the three we've seen so far, but it's very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it is, but I was saying this in one of my videos. There seems to be a huge amount of werewolf props at the minute. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know whether it's just I'm noticing them more or not, but I was kind of like, I saw that and I was like, another wolf. Here's another wolf. Is 2025 the year of the wolf? I don't know what's going on. It's very cool though. I do like it. It's got that kind of gross, wet look to it. Like it's emerged out of the spider more than it is the spider. Do you know what I mean? It's like the spider's
Right.
kind of grown out of the wolf or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So I did really like that.
If a werewolf bit a giant spider, I assume that's what would happen,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what happened. It mutated. I don't know.
So I think with this one, again, I'd say it's probably my least favorite of the three. More for the utility, right? Not from the sculpting, the design looks cool. Kind of like what we said, you throw it with a bunch of other werewolf stuff, or
Yeah,
you put it in like a mad scientist lab, right? Um,
yeah,
Otherwise, I think people would look at it and be like, huh, that's
yeah,
interesting. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would quite get it. But then
yeah,
yeah, it's got the whole play on words, right? Wolf spider. It's a
yeah. Like spiders, obviously at Halloween you can't go wrong with spiders. You could have every kind of spider and it would still be like, yeah, perfect. Halloween, have another spider. It's just like you say. I think how you use that wolf spider, like Yeah, that is the difficult thing with that one. I always said my favorite one they ever did was the Jack. Oh God, the Jack o' Lantern one that looked like a Jack o' Lantern. I always
Oh,
forget the name. It's
yeah,
like it was from a few years back now,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was just perfect. It looked amazing as a spider. It lit up well. You could actually see the light shining through it, and I thought it looked awesome. And yeah, the alien spider last year. Yeah, if you do alien type stuff, or it was just gross. It's just a gross looking spider. Cool.
right.
This one's maybe just approaching a little bit too specific, being a wolf. I don't know, but it's still cool. I still like it. I liked the leg. I liked the way they'd add dog paws to the legs. That was creepy.
Right. Uh,
Who we want to talk about now? Because it's like so much to talk about.
yeah, well, let's might as well, we're doing props. Let's do the couple spirit ones we've seen so far.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So, what did you make of them straight away? Where do you start? What did you
Yeah,
think?
I was surprised to see a Frankenstein come out for Christmas, right? Frankenstein's
Mm.
monster. I really like the sculpt on it.
Hmm.
I don't like the painted hair so much. I feel like we should be, and I know Spirit doesn't always agree. I feel like we should be past the props that make noise and don't move their mouth. I
Yep.
kind of think like, for a prop that's was like 280, I think they're charging.
Yeah.
I think you could give us some mouth movement. In some ways, I almost like I don't know if it's the sculpt of the Spirit Frankenstein, but even better than the Home Depot. I actually think it's more the texture because weirdly, I love everything about the Home Depot one, except it's like the shinier texture. It's not as matte as Lethal Lily was, which is the only thing I would really change would be that texture. So looking at the Spirit one, I think it looks cool. I like the kind of reaching
The lunge. Yeah.
forward motion. It's just, first of all, the hair, and I don't know, it's making noise, it should move,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I thought had it been cheaper, had it been like maybe closer to like I don't know 200, 180, that kind of price. This is I thought was amazing. I was like, wow. And I was like, why have they left it till now? Like, why have they left it till like November to
right.
bring? I know for Christmas, but still, I kind of thought, oh, well, did they not bring it out in the summer because they knew about the Home Depot one and they knew the Home Depot one would just dominate? Or did it not go with their Carnival lineup good enough? I don't know. It didn't make sense to leave that till then for me personally. And I kind of said in a video that I did on Sunday, I think, that it would. I hope they do include it later on in the year for the main lineup. I don't
It's
think they
too,
will.
yeah, it's too good to just kind of disappear in November, I feel,
You'd think I feel like that, but you're right. You're right about everything else. It's too plasticky. Like it's just too plastic hair, everything. No facial movement. Not even light up eyes. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of light up eyes, but not even light up eyes. No mouth movement. But then I do prefer the face sculpt. I think this face sculpt is better than the Home Depot one. I think the texture is better than the Home Depot one because it's more the Boris Karloff look, which is what I just envisage every time I think of Frankenstein's monster. I think the costume's better, personally, just looking at images. I think that was the thing that when I initially saw the Home Depot one, I was like, costume could be better.
Yeah,
And you said it
agreed.
looks pretty good in real life. It's not too bad, but I
Yeah, it looks
think this
better
one,
person.
yeah, but this one looks good, even in images. It just looks good. And then I like that lunge. I like that little lunge. I think that's just enough. I think it's great. It's just a shame about, again, the no mouth movement and it's making the grunting noises. So it should have some movement.
Yeah,
And especially for that price, I think, because that's the sort of price the Home Depot one was, right? That it was it
same price, yeah.
280? Yeah.
Yep.
So I think if you've got two Frankenstein's monsters at the same price, I think the Home Depot one wins out every time, just for the amount of animatronic movement it has. I'd feel hard done by spending 280 on something that is quite stripped back and simplistic. Like I say, you knock maybe I don't know $100 off that, maybe $80 off that, and you've got something that can compete. I'd be like, yeah, that's great. It's got some movement. It's a bit annoying. Its mouth doesn't move, but it's still got something, and it looks good. But the minute you start putting it up against the Home Depot one, nah, it's no competition, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot for that one, I don't think they would ever bring it to 200, but I think even like a 230 would
Yeah.
be fine. You know, that $50 difference, I could say, all right, because it does look
Mm,
great. If we didn't have the Home Depot one, I would be like, this is amazing. You know, it's awesome. I would still complain about the mouth because that's what I
yeah.
do, but uh, that's my thing. I don't
It's
like,
your thing. I
yeah,
complain about clowns. You complain about mouth movement. It's
right,
okay.
exactly. And then the clowns where the mouth doesn't move. Oh,
Even worse.
right. Uh, so let's speak about bad clowns then. What is he? I don't know.
It's
Unlucky Lucy. Am I making that up?
Lucky Liz. Lucky
Lucky
Liz.
Liz. Close
Yeah,
enough.
Lucky Liz. Because it's a reskin of Lucky Bottoms. That's
Yeah.
right. I'm right, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, the first one when it came out, other than the fact that it doesn't really make sense to even have a clown groundbreaking thing, but I thought the movement was pretty creepy and kind of cool. And I think this one is just a not as good version. It's more just more colorful. It's a
yeah.
girl laughing. Not for me.
Bit lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy is the thing that came to mind. I think a lot of people have said it. You know, even the clown fanatics going, no, just no. It's just, yeah, a bit pointless, to be honest. It's like you say, I said it in my last video. I don't get why you'd need a clown groundbreaker. That concept in its own self is weird to me. I will just mention though, for those of you watching, I am going to be positive about clowns this year. I said it in one of my videos. I'm turning over a fresh leaf. I will just look at them in an analytical kind of a way as an animatronic and go whether it's good or bad based upon that, not because it's a clown.
Till we get to our scoring episodes, I think
Yeah, I'd be like one minus one. It's like, no. But this is a bad one. This is bad. I agree with you. When it was Lucky Bottoms, I liked the loose head movement
yeah,
because I liked that in Twitching Banshee. It reminds me
yeah,
of Twitching Banshee. I like that. Like we've said before, what could be quite a cartoony character becomes something a bit more, I don't know, like ominous in a way because of that moving, flailing head, that loose movement. So I
yeah,
do like that. And I liked it in Lucky Bottoms. But I think, like you said in this, it's not doing that as much, this particular one. At least it didn't look like it was. And it just, it's like, oh, we haven't had a girl clown for a while. Let's make it a girl. And it's like,
and we need our DEI clown
yeah,
prop.
yeah, this is it. It's just, no. And plus, that's the other thing as well. They've just had a year of Carnival. Why was this not in the Carnival lineup? It even had the background in the video was all the Carnival stuff. So why wasn't it in the main lineup back in the summer and early autumn? You know, so I don't get it. It's like it was an afterthought. Like, oh, we've got this clown. Let's make it a girl, and let's see if some sucker will buy it for Christmas.
Right? Could have at least given her a lantern. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Come on. Yeah, where's the lanterns?
Did the Spirit have
Mm.
anything else that came out, or was that it?
No, though they have. I've seen a whole bunch of other clowns that they're bringing back for
Oh,
2025.
yeah. I think they like
I
released some
can't.
extra stock they had or something, right?
Yeah, that's
Because
all
one
I've
guy
seen.
actually got his Crouchy already.
Okay, yeah, Crouchy's back. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've not. Again, I haven't paid a huge amount of attention to it because you know me, I'm the clown thing just straight over my head. But yeah, well done, clown people. I'm glad you're getting clowns. No, it's fine. It's all fine.
Right. We'll get Moore's costumes out of the way quick, and then we'll hit Lowe's. So I
Mm,
was expecting more from this show, the
yeah,
Halloween and Party Expo show. I
yeah.
was just like,
Where is it?
guys, I don't even think it's worth making a video about right now.
Yeah, I was gonna do that today. I thought about I was gonna like normally there's loads of footage and stuff. And is it LMJ Haunts? He always allows people to use his footage, and he's been doing. I've seen some of his videos, and I was just like, "What is that? What's Morris Costumes doing? Where's all their stuff?
Right.
Like, it's all Sunstar stuff,
And we
which,
saw pictures, right? So we know
yeah,
that they've got a bunch more stuff.
yeah, yeah. So it's a bit disappointing. I'm not quite sure what happened there, unless I think the only thought someone did say, I think they have learned a lesson about revealing their stuff too early, and that perhaps they're going to reveal most of it at Transworld instead.
Right.
So I get
But
the
then why send out the
feeling.
catalog so early?
uh,
Like before Christmas, I think the catalog came out.
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I've seen most of this stuff now for weeks, but I get the feeling that they revealed all their stuff at the expo last year, and everyone was like, Morris Costumes, Morris Costumes. And then Transworld hits, and everyone just forgets about them and moves on to the next shiny thing.
Right.
And I get the feeling they probably went to Transworld, and everyone was like, "Yeah, seen that clown on the pole, seen it," and weren't interested, and just went and looked at all the other cool things.
Right.
So I get the feeling they're kind of going, "Yeah, we've tempted you with some of these things. We're gonna save it for Transworld, and then you can maybe we'll get a whole bunch of people making footage about our video about our stuff instead of everyone going over to Scare Factory and stuff."
Right. That's fair. I can totally get that. There was one that was pretty interesting
Go on.
that they showed. I thought the old lady holding her husband's head
Yeah.
and the spinal cord is moving around.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
pretty creepy movement. I kind of feel like the old lady I don't need the eyes. Get rid of the light up eyes.
Yeah.
And she's very stiff movement. Like I feel like this would be awesome. Give her a servo head or something to go with that and just really bring the whole thing to life. That said, the spinal cord moving is pretty neat. It's kind of cool,
Pretty.
something different.
Yeah. Very gross. I was like,
Yeah.
that's creepy. I can tell I'm becoming more of an animatronics geek because a little bit of me was like, I wonder how they achieved that movement. Whereas normally, once upon a time, I'd have just been like, oh, wow, gross. And that would be it. And now I'm like, I wonder what mechanism is inside that to create that movement. It is a very cool, interesting movement. And yeah, I think that is something worth talking about. But everything else was a bit disappointing. Like they showed them twins. Is it the I want to say the Atomic Twins or something like that?
Apocalypse twins or something. Yeah.
Apocalypse Twins. That's right, Apocalypse Twins. And you
Yeah. No. No.
no no just yeah,
It
that's
looks it
great.
reminds me of another prop that we got. One of those like online Halloween.com or something,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I think I know what you
Had
mean.
something similar, like these like kind of weird
Yeah,
kids holding hands or doing
yeah,
something. And
yeah.
I don't know who buys that stuff. I'm not trying to be mean.
What?
I just
Creepy, creepy people.
they're not like great looking kids. Like they almost look like they're kind of like a porcelain because it looks like there's like kind of cracks in the face or something.
Yeah,
But then they're
yeah.
kind of not. They don't call them that. And then there's like you can't see their hands holding the teddy bear. It's kind of floating between them. Like
Yeah. I was kind of waiting for
I
the
don't
teddy
know,
bear to be like ripped apart or something. I thought that was going to be the movement, and that
right?
it wasn't. And I was like, I don't understand what that is particularly. Like, we get here, I've said it before, in the UK, we get an awful lot of doll props. We get a lot of creepy dolls and zombie dolls and all that kind of stuff. And it's a big thing here. I get it. I quite like them too. There are some pretty good ones. But this is just it's just two creepy children for the sakes of creepy children. I'm like, I've got my own creepy children. They're real creepy
Right?
children. I don't need to put any out in my horn. I have creepy children anyway.
Right?
So
Having real kids is terrifying. So
terrifying, yeah. I mean, even people always say, some, someone said to me, another YouTuber, an American YouTuber said, why is it that English children always sound creepy? I'm like, even I know that. I'm like, they do, don't they? Like, hello, mother. Hello, father. Creepy British children. They are
right.
creepy. I know, I've got two of them. Creepy British children.
So I think it's something
So,
about the like, British people always sound, at least to us, more polite. That's because we can't. That's because we can't hear some of the other words that you don't drop on YouTube, maybe.
You
But
don't want to hear the other words. No,
so
definitely not.
so any kid kind of being nice and polite, you're like, what are they up to?
Yeah,
Something's
yeah.
weird about that.
Excuse me, father. It's like, oh, creepy.
Papa, can I have
Yeah.
some water?
Papa.
Uh,
Yeah. Even I find kids with British accents creepy. Don't
right.
I live
So
it?
so maybe that's what that prop needs.
Mm, creepy
Maybe
British
the
accent.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Give it some creepy English accent. I'm going to say though, just to, not to generalize, English accents. It's the only creepy ones are from down south. The southern English accents. Hello, how are you, mother? They're the
Right.
creepy ones. Where I
Agreed.
live, not so creepy. Everyone
No.
just sort of, hello, how are you? It's like
Right.
we sound more like pirates most of the time than creepy, than creepy people. Uh,
Uh,
Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent.
so we just insulted half your country, so that's
Of
right.
course, yeah. Why not do it? Oh, man.
Um,
Um,
so then the other one was the back to a clown. Was
Clown,
they
yeah,
basically reskinned the groundskeeper that they had from last year that never got released, right?
which is a huge shame. I feel because I liked that groundskeeper. I
I think
liked
he
him.
was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of them things where you kind of go, well, I'm not sure we need that. I'm not sure why you need a groundskeeper particularly. I get that. And I guess that's what they were maybe thinking. Like, maybe there's not a huge market for this. Let's reskin it as a clown. There's a huge market for that. But I don't know. I think it's a bit unimaginative.
Yeah.
And again, it's that thing of even the clown people, the people who like their clown props, I've heard them saying it's not great. It's nothing to write home about and get excited about. It's a clown that's holding scissors. It's like,
Right.
okay, what is he? A tailor? Is like, what's the vibe here? You know, a
Yeah.
gardener, a groundskeeper with shears, bloody shears, makes some sense. A
Right.
clown holding scissors. I think even the clown people, though, the manufacturers are running out of ideas. You can tell they're running out of ideas because now they're giving their clowns these crazy jobs. So you've got this guy holding scissors. There's this unreleased SVI one I talked about before. You might have seen the paint a decorator clown. You seen that
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
And it's like, why?
Right.
Why is this guy going into domestic jobs? It's like, who's hiring a painter decorator clown? Who's
Right. I'm waiting
it's
for
like,
the clown accountant. That's the one I'll
yeah,
purchase.
exactly. The accountant clown, we'll have the chef clown. The chef clown might be good actually, but what they're all fine. They're all leaving the circus. They're abandoning their popcorn stands and they're going into domestic jobs.
Later on, I wanted to ask about some predictions for the upcoming year. And one of the questions I was going to ask was kind of related to what kind of random objects are clowns going to be holding this year, because that's all they do.
So, well, that's what I mean. It's like they can't give a clown a lantern.
Nope.
So now it's random. We've done popcorn, we've done candy floss or cotton candy, we've done what else do they use? Like juggling balls and battens and whatever else. We've done all that. Now what else can we do with them? Oh, I know. This guy can paint and decorate, paint cannons.
Right. Yeah.
What? No. Just no. Because I
How
don't
come no
get
one,
it.
like, I would be more surprised, like, how come we don't get the more like a zombie clowns or the vampire clown, like someone that
Yeah.
got infected, so a clown that got infected with something
Yeah,
Halloweeny and now he's like,
werewolf clown. Now that would be a
right?
cool thing.
Yeah.
Now, like we were talking about werewolves before, werewolf clown. That would be
Right.
awesome. Like a clown that's half wolf, half clown. Yeah, do
Cool
it.
vampire with like the paint's kind of worn off now and he's got the big
Yeah,
fangs coming out and
awesome,
you
awesome
know,
idea. At least this is what I think. That's part of the reason that clowns annoy me. Is it's just and it's why werewolves. I'm gonna be tentative here saying this, but werewolves are starting to grate on me as well because they just bring out the same thing every year, and
right.
sometimes multiples of the same thing. The clowns, they've been doing it for a few years now, where we just see the same ideas regurgitated. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
tall clown. Oh, it's a little clown. This one's with an ice cream cone. This one's got candy floss. It's all the same stuff. I want to see something different and new. If you're going to go down this road, bring out something awesome. Spider clown, clown with an app, you know what I mean? Something
Right.
like meant absolutely crazy. Just not the same stuff. It's a
Yeah.
clown. We get it. And the werewolf thing, just briefly, is the same problem I find, is that they're all doing the same thing. It's a wolf in a pose and he leans his head back and howls. And it's like, I get it. If you're trying to create a pack of werewolves, maybe, yes. But like, there's only so many you can have that are all doing the same thing. I always think about what my wife's going to say. Every time I buy a prop, I think she's always like, she's like, you've already got one that does that.
Okay.
That one does that. That isn't that the same? And I'd
Right.
be like, no, because this wolf has got white fur, not black fur. You know, it's like, it's the same.
Like that one's got a plaid shirt. This one's
Yeah. Yeah.
this one's
This one's got no
spotted. Come
shirt.
on,
This one's got
right?
no pants. This one, it's like, but they're all basically the same.
Didn't you see the anklet? Come on. Uh,
Yeah, I know. This is
I,
what I mean.
so with werewolves, I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
I'm okay with the werewolves coming out because I don't think, other than like a distortions, I don't think anyone's really nailed the werewolf yet. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
look at one and say like that's it. Like like we've had awesome Grim Reapers, we've had some awesome zombie stuff, but like as far as like retail,
Yeah.
I just most of them don't look good. Most of the fur looks kind of cheap and stuff. So if we could get that really good looking werewolf, that would be good. But I would like one that's like a swiping, kind of like swipes at you, or
Swiping. I think
or
I'd like to. I know it's a bit advanced, but I think I'd like to see one that was kind of transitioning from human to werewolf, or like catching a snippet of that, like the end
right.
part, where I don't know how they. This is what I mean. My imagination can imagine it, but I can't. I know it's more technical than me just going, yes, I want one turning into a wolf, a man turning into a wolf. But like, I'd like to see, I don't know, like a human face distorting into a snout or something like that. That's what if that came out, I'd be like, yes, awesome.
Yeah,
This
right.
is cool.
If you had a human that could like something that were like kind of like hunched over, so it kind of hit its head, and then the head
Yeah.
flipped, and then it came up as the
Yes.
wolf like that, that'd be cool.
Awesome. Really cool. Or like the legs extended or something, like that,
Right.
like the sort of growing into something else. I love that idea. I know
Yeah.
it's harder than that's a hard thing to create, but someone needs to do it. Someone should do it.
Right. I agree though. There's a lot of subpar werewolves, I think, and that's the
Mm,
issue.
that is the
Um,
issue.
and this is probably a good tie to move right over to Lowe's, right? Because they got one of those werewolves,
They
and
have got one of them werewolves.
he's like a white furred werewolf. The description kind of sounds like he does what the Big Lots one does, but it doesn't look to me like it does. It looks like a costume to me on a mannequin, but
You just nailed it. That's exactly what I thought. It looked like a guy wearing a wolf costume. That's what I thought. And I thought, actually, I think I said it. It to me, it, it looks too cuddly. Like,
right?
I know it's only a picture and we're not seeing really what the end result's probably going to look like, but it just looked too furry and too like a bit of me wanted to like pat it on the head, like, oh, good boy, like, oh, you.
Right.
It looked like a husky or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It just to me, it just looked like a guy wearing a husky costume or something, and that's no. It's just like
Yeah.
no. And again, it's just going to do that same thing. It's just going to lift its head back and howl. And I get it. If, like you say, if it looked impressive and it was amazing, great. But it doesn't. It just looks a bit questionable.
Like give us like give us a werewolf with like just like a really good snarling action, right? With like
Yeah.
a scary voice and something that just kind of like
Yeah.
it lurches for you, comes at you.
Lurches. Yeah,
Something like
definitely.
that.
I'm always surprised actually because that prop actually makes sense as a lunging prop. Like we've got a lot of different props that lunge, and some of them don't make sense. Like I don't, what I mean? They're always cool, and I like a lunging prop, but then some of them you go, I'm not sure you needed to lunge. Like a werewolf, that's perfect for a werewolf. They should be swiping and lunging forward. That's perfect. So yeah, it's kind of unusual now that you've said that we've never seen that before. Yeah. Get on it. Somebody do this. Let's make notes.
Right. So let's move on. I've been on the lantern thing, so let's talk about the 12-foot vampire with a lantern, which is probably like a
Mm.
2-foot lantern. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, initially, I like it. I'm gonna
yeah,
say it. I like it.
yeah,
I
I do
like
too.
I like vampires, and it looks cool. I like the old school Victorian sort of Nosferatu-y kind of vampire look. Like it, and if it has anything like the sort of movement that the what's it
Bone
called?
collector.
Bone collector. Bone
Yeah.
collector. If it has anything close to that kind of movement, maybe the eyes moving, the head moving a little bit, then I think it could be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it has to have mouth movement, I think, or else again that would annoy me.
I couldn't see though, like so with the bone collector, you could kind of see the hinge.
Yes.
Granted, not a great picture, so it could be there. We can't see it. We're talking about a 12-foot thing that's like 2 inches on my
Yeah,
screen,
I know, I know.
um, but I couldn't see an easy joint. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it didn't look obvious. I know what you mean.
maybe that's
Yeah,
good. Maybe they hit it. That'd be even
maybe
better.
they did. Maybe it's like a proper, yeah, like a proper mouth, like not a hinged one. Like,
Right.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, don't get the lantern. I want to hazard on saying possibly it makes more sense, but like I said, a candelabra, if you're going to have him holding anything that lights up, maybe makes more sense for this character.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. I'll be interested to see what the real thing looks like. I think I've learnt my lesson to not judge these pictures too harshly at this stage
Mhm.
because these are probably prototypes that have, they're probably not the mate how it's going to look when it's finished. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I, on the other hand, I've learned nothing. What I look at is I'm not judging the prop that's coming out. I'm judging the prop
yes,
that I see. Right.
yeah, of course, yeah, and the prop you see is okay. It's
Yes.
okay, and it could be better.
Right.
You know, and let's hope it is. I hope it is. I hope we are surprised by it like we were with the Bone Collector, where we all were like, it's rubbish, it's terrible, I've never seen something so terrible in my life. And then in reality, it was actually pretty cool. It had its questionable elements, but it
Right.
was pretty cool.
And to be fair, most of the stuff that we really didn't like in the beginning was still terrible at the end.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
weird
that is
shovel
true.
and
The shovel,
the bag that
the bag with the weird
somehow
skeleton in
has the
it.
head and the arms hanging out. Like,
Yeah, yeah. He's doing a terrible job of bone collecting
right?
if they're all hanging out of his bag. So at least get a new bag.
Yeah. But they did get rid of the weird hat and they did make the skin tone cooler. So they made
This
some
is true.
improvements, you know?
This is true. Yeah, that face sculpt in the end, I did think looked pretty good. I have to
Yeah.
say, I did
Yeah.
enjoy
And
it.
the movement looked way better than I thought. When I saw it, I was like,
100%.
wow, very
Yeah.
cool.
Looking forward to seeing how they develop this one or how it ends up looking. Definitely.
Right.
I'm trying to think of some more. I'm trying to think of them all.
So we had the 10-foot spider, which I thought was cool, that apparently shrunk now to
Shrunk
like
three and a half,
3 feet.
3 feet,
Yeah.
3'4" or something. Yeah. So
Now it's just a spider to me. Whereas before I was like, oh, that's gonna be cool. It's
that's
big.
awesome. Yeah. What I liked about it when I thought it was 10 foot is like, because the legs looked quite long. Like I've seen mutant spiders. We had the 12-foot one from Costco a few years back, but
Yep.
it kind of lay quite low to the ground in a way because the legs sprawled out to create the 12 foot. Whereas this in the picture initially looked tall. And I was like, that'd be cool if you elevated it a little higher. You could even make that like an entrance way to your horn and people could
Right.
go under it.
Yep.
That'd be amazing. And then no, it's only 3 foot. So
Yeah. So now only the midgets can go through the doorway. Yeah.
dwarves only, people.
Right.
I like the fact it lights up, and I like spiders, but 3.5 foot's pretty. Well, it's not even 3.5, is it? It's 3.4.
Right. And I expect it's probably going to be like the Kraken prop from this year. Then probably like a
Yeah,
$200 prop. And
yeah. Which, nah.
no.
I'll pass. Thank you. I like
Right.
spider, but not that much. So,
Yeah.
what did you make of? I've just thought the corpse bride props.
So it's hard to tell, right? So at first I looked and I was like, oh, she looks like a better sculpt. Now this question, was that even the prop at all, or were those just like pictures and they like drew a fake stand-in on the bottom? It sounds like based on Victor's description, they still do the blinking eyes. The mouth is not going to move, I don't think. So in the end, they're probably going to be pretty much the same. I
Yeah,
hope that she does have more of that look with like the face is a little less cute and the
yeah,
dress
yeah,
is more tattered and stuff.
yeah. It did look that way. It did look that way from the pictures. So
If it is, maybe I'd be tempted to get that one. I love the characters and I'd love to have them. In the end, it's just like I don't have $600 to drop on these. You know,
yeah, yeah. Don't tell me that mouth not moving wouldn't annoy you eventually. You'd be
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you'd love the characters to begin with, and then you'd just be like, oh, you'd be like cutting their mouths to start moving. You'd be
I
putting your own servos in there and stuff. So,
know. I already hate that with Sally. At least Jack has
mm,
his mouth moving.
yeah,
But I think they would be cool to have like in a even just in a scene, right? And so not necessarily worry about the volume being up and just seeing them kind of moving
yeah,
and blinking and play the
yeah,
Corpse Bride music in the background, and it's like, oh, it's a scene,
yeah. The picture, like you say, is hard to judge too much from the picture. But the hair, for me, it was all about the hair. The
Yeah.
hair looked better on
Yes.
this one. It's again, you can't really judge it too much. But I think that was a big put off for me on the spirit one. The hair did look very glossy and wig like.
That's probably
Um,
the main thing that made me say, oh, no, I don't think so. It's
yeah,
too new and shiny
too
and
new
bright
and
blue
shiny.
and yeah.
Yeah, bright blue, like whoa. Whereas this did look more muted and matted and sort of like a corpse bride's hair. So yeah, it could be good, but we'll have to see, I suppose.
If she looks like she does in the picture or pretty close to it, I'll get excited about it because I do love the movie. So
Maybe Lowe's might be getting some of your money this year.
we'll see.
uh,
I'm trying to think of what else. Well, we had another clown holding something. At least it's kind of a
it
clowny
was
thing, the balloon
yes,
animal.
balloon animal. Yeah, yeah. It's again, it did look like the balloon animal did something, like that. It would look like it had a mouth to do something. So that would be kind of fun if that's the case. And other than that, it just looked like an old school clown. Yeah, it looked okay, but again, it's a clown, so it's just it looked okay. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting to see what that balloon dog does. That's I think the selling point of that clown more than anything else. So yeah, we'll have to see.
yeah. I just hope it's not just like, look at me with my crazy balloon clown
Yeah, and it's like,
or balloon dog
hey,
thing.
hey, buddy,
They,
come into the circus, and he's like, yeah, come into the circus. It's like, oh god. And I think you were into the DJ though, right? The DJ looks pretty awesome.
DJ, I think would be a good fit for our party. It's a one and done. So like the band's cool. Like I think when you have the whole band together, it looks great. I didn't have over $1,000 I wanted to drop on the band. And I think individually they're just okay. I think what makes them cool is having all of them. Hoping that he has just like a head bop, the hand moves with the turntable, and that would be
Yeah.
perfect, for DJ. But he looks cool with the lighting, and again, we have the laser with the fog machine going for the dance
Oh,
floor area,
cool.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, that is exactly right. They're perfect for any party. That is like you say. You don't need the other band members for that guy. So
Yep.
and how that would look really cool. I was imagining it in a party, and it was like, oh, who's the DJ? Oh, it's just the skeleton. Like
Yep.
just mixing it up.
Just gonna get a
Love
little
that.
raised platform for him, and then
Yeah.
then it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, get the big light, bow on the awesome
Yeah.
smoke machine going. Looked amazing. Yeah,
So
I fully agree. I'm fully into that.
so I probably will get that one, unless it turns out he's like really terrible or like $500.
I don't know how they could get that wrong, though. I mean, like you say, if they can give the head nod to a guitar player, you only
Right.
have to add just that little nod of the head and the hand moving loosely over the discs, and you
Yeah.
got it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And then the ability, obviously, as long as it's Bluetooth, you can play your music through it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Can't go wrong. I like the bands. I like all the band members. And like you say, if you've got a spare $1,000 to blow on a band and you love a band, great, yeah, go for it. But I think this is the option for anyone who
Right.
just wants one and doesn't, because a keyboardist on their own or a guitarist on their own, bit pointless.
Yeah.
But But yeah, no, I think this is pretty cool. Like it.
So agreed.
We had the witch. There was a witch with a stirring cauldron again.
I don't like when they like bake the flame onto the cauldron, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That part I think kind of makes it look a little cheaper. The face
Uh-huh.
looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like for her, she didn't feel she had a creepy face, but she kind of just had a normal standing pose. Like with that face, I kind of want her hunched over or something, you know?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
nitpicking, but
No, no, I know what you mean. I think she did look quite small, I thought. Maybe
mhm,
she looks like she's only maybe about 4 foot high, 4 or 5 feet maybe.
yeah,
So she didn't look very tall, and I did wonder whether in reality she might have a more of a hunch. I
I
just think,
can't tell.
yeah, I think really the next sort of stirring witch we need to see, if you're going to go down this road of continuing with stirring witches, is one that's more like the cauldron creature, where they have that, where they're looking down and then they look up, and it's that motion of, so they're concentrating on what they're stirring and then they look up, and that kind of thing. That would add something to this whole thing, I think. But yeah, we'll have to see. Who knows? She could be doing something awesome, or she could just be very generic.
Right. And her hands look really small to me. I don't know why,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, actually, now you've said that. I couldn't figure out
but
as well whether it was a stick or a bone that she had in her hand that she was using to stir the cauldron. It
oh,
looked
I'm not even sure.
it looked like a bone. I could be wrong, but it did look a bit like it could be a bone, so which is cool.
So there you
It's all
go.
right.
Yeah,
But it all looked very small. Like there was no dimensions, but it looked like it was all on a very much smaller scale, which would probably make sense for the smaller hands. So yeah, I'll be surprised if she's anything above 4 feet. But we'll see. We will see. Who knows?
what else? What else did we see? I'm trying to think.
There was another groundskeeper guy
Oh,
with
yep,
with a lantern, funnily enough, which makes sense. I like a groundskeeper with a
yep,
lantern. He looked okay, pretty creepy. But again, it's that same thing. Another groundskeeper. We've had a few now,
yep.
and I'm not sure he's my favourite looking of all the groundskeepers that we've seen over the years.
I'd agree.
I personally think there was at least, I'm pretty sure it was a Morris Costumes one from a few years back that I thought was much better.
Yeah,
But it's cool. If you need a groundskeeper, he's probably fit the bill. He looks pretty creepy and groundskeepery. So
yep.
yeah,
At
yeah.
least he's not 12 feet. So yeah,
Though you see, this is where I thought one of my favourite props from many years ago was the 10-foot groundskeeper prop that was a Morris Costumes prop. And now, at the time, I thought it was amazing. I thought this is awesome. And now I look back at it and go, does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, right? That's not make no. Why would I need this? Like he'd be taller than my entire graveyard area.
right.
Like it
All
doesn't make any sense.
all the scary props don't look scary now
It's
because
just like
this tall guy.
just this massive guy with a lantern going, "You've come to the graveyard." It's like no. No, you're kind of like it'd be like putting up a billboard next to the graveyard, like "Come to our graveyard."
Right.
Like no, not quite the vibe I'm going for there.
I hear you.
What else did we have? Just trying to think
It
now.
had a lot of names about stuff.
We had a lot of names that no one quite knew. Some of them sounded good. There was one called like the Window Girl or something like that, or it was like, and I was like, what does Window Girl? What does that mean? Is that going to be a prop that hangs in a window? Is that going to be a prop that has a window? Is it actually bursting out of a window? Who knows? Oh, I know which one I liked the look of. The jump scare one that didn't have a name.
Oh
Looked like
yeah.
a kind of Victorian guy that jumped up. Like, that looked
Right.
pretty good,
Yeah, I
I
thought the
thought.
face sculpt looked kind of creepy, like human enough, but kind of scary too. And yeah, from
Yeah.
what I could see, I thought that was pretty neat. I'm curious to see how good the jump is. You know,
Mm,
is it
yeah.
is it like the pumpkin guy Party City had that pops up? That's
Yeah.
probably
Could be.
similar.
It almost looked a little bit from the picture. It kind of looked a little bit like it was doing like a bit like what Emmeline did from Spirit, where she kind of jumped forward a bit, like an up and forward kind of motion. I could be wrong. It's just the way the picture looked. It just,
And
I
that's
thought,
Mr. Dark kind of does that too when he comes up. He
kind
kind
of
of comes
goes,
forward a bit.
yeah, a little bit.
Feels like a Mr. Dark mech. Again, that's cool, you know?
I don't quite know what the character's supposed to be. The pictures are so terrible that you couldn't really see any of the details. He had like a Victorian outfit on, but he was like holding something, and he had something else on his face as well that I couldn't make out. I couldn't make out whether he was it looked like he was wearing goggles, and it possibly had like some sort of light up feature in the eyes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard to make out really in them pictures.
That's what we forget. How could we forget the female plague doctor?
Oh God. I mean, go on. You say you bet.
I'm okay with the concept of a female plague doctor.
Yes.
I almost want to see is like someone who's like high class woman who, plague comes, she pulls a mask over to survive,
Yeah.
and you kind
Yeah.
of like give us a sense of like some hair hanging out and
Yeah.
make
Okay.
the dress more time appropriate.
Yes.
But make her look like really feminine and kind of cool and
Hmm.
like if a witch and a plague doctor were kind of mixed together. That could be
Exactly.
neat, it could
That
be
could
pretty
be
cool.
cool. Yeah. And there are ways of doing that. They could shape it in a different way and add things that make it look more feminine. But I don't. It's just a Victorian dress. It's like they had a mannequin with a Victorian dress on, and they went put a plague doctor mask on it.
And not even like a
And
plague doctor mask. It's like a bird mask. It doesn't
it's a
even
bird.
look plague doctory, really.
No, no. And I was like, that's terrible. I don't get that at all. I think in my video I did about it, I think it made me sound like I was saying we don't need female plague doctors. And I'm all for lady plague doctors. You want to be a plague doctor and you're a lady, you be your best plague doctor. You
Right?
want to go out and cure people with a crazy mask on, you do your best. You
Right?
know? But just not this. This is not good. It doesn't look good. I don't even need to hear any phrases or anything from this
No.
because it looks terrible. It's
How, how does how does stuff like that get through testing?
no, I
Like,
don't know.
like I
Like
feel
they
like my
must.
son could design something better. He's 9. Like,
This is the thing, right? If you're gonna create a plague doctor, you have to set it. You have to at least give it that slight realistic vibe of it's a medieval thing, right? The plague happened in medieval times, so you've got to give it a medieval vibe. You've got to, at least a little bit. And that's what I think the Home Depot one did. It looked medieval-ish. You could imagine that in medieval times.
modernized, but
Slightly
still,
modernized, but there were things there that you went, yeah, I can get that. Like the little details, like the
yep.
satchel and stuff like that. Get it. But this just doesn't have any of that. It's not even like, it's not even like they could have gone, we want it to be a female. Let's look at what women were wearing in medieval times. Like,
Right.
oh, there's a basic medieval dress here. That'll do. Looks medieval to me. Put a bit of a belt on it. Yeah. And it looks a bit feminine. Like you say, add a bit of hair if you need to. Whatever.
Yep.
But no,
Even
let's.
the staff is uninspired and
The staff's just like the medical symbol, right? It's
right.
just, and I
But
was like,
it's like short too. It's not like a full staff. It's like this little like where is she beating people back with the stick? Like I don't get
get away from me, plague victims.
like I just none of it. Like if you think about it, who would carry that? Why?
Yeah, I
Like
don't
it
get that.
makes
That
no
doesn't make any
sense.
sense. Again, it's for me. I guess I'm too much of a historical buff fanatic person in this respect, but it kind of annoys me. I kind of want to see it more like with, I don't know, almost like a wizard staff, like a staff or something, like an old bit of stick or I don't know what I want to see, but I don't want to see that. It's just like a plastic stick with the medical symbol on it, just so that you kind of get the vibe that it's a medical doctor character.
Right.
It's like,
I would
no.
actually rather have the lantern here.
Yeah,
you know?
actually true. Actually, a lantern may have made more sense for this character. And but yeah, it's a bit crap, isn't it? To be fair,
Yeah.
I mean, it might come out and it might have a different outfit on it in real life, and we might have to eat our words.
I hope I
But
do. I hope that
I
comes.
hope I
I
do.
hope that's my most anticipated prop of the year. I hope it looks
Yeah,
so awesome.
yeah, it might be. Who knows?
Yeah,
We might, a couple of months from now, we might be going, how wrong were we?
right.
We need more lady plague doctors that are wearing. But no, this at this moment in time looks horrendous.
And even the hat, they gave it a hat that a woman wouldn't be wearing at that time. Like,
Do you know what I thought it was? Now you might not know that. It's fine if you don't, but there is. Ella really likes Lady Gaga.
mhm,
She listens to Lady Gaga, and roughly just after Halloween, Lady Gaga brought out a new song, and it's called. It's basically she's dressed up as a plague doctor in the video.
okay,
She's a plague doctor, and when I saw this Lady Plague Doctor, because Lady Gaga wears crazy crap,
right.
I was like, this is where they've got their inspiration from. The hat and the outfit, that's what they've done. It's almost like they've gone, oh,
Oh,
Lady
really?
Gaga was a plague doctor in this video, and everyone likes this Lady Gaga video. Let's dress it up this way. And if you watch the video, it doesn't look like that exactly, but you might get the vibe. You'll go, oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. And I was
I'm
like,
searching it right now just to see.
search for it. It's not that. She's got that the hat and the costume it's more of a Victorian-y kind of ripped, tattered old dress, and she's wearing a lot of bondage and stuff because it's Lady Gaga, of course she is. But it's and I looked at that and I was like, this is that. I'm pretty sure this is maybe where they've got their inspo from. I'm like, could be wrong.
This is probably the one you're talking about. I saw a picture of a white one, but now she's in black. Yeah,
No, she's in black and she's got a
yeah.
hat that's very similar to that hat, and yeah,
Oh, yeah. They
she's
they tried
it's
to they tried to
it's
play off
all
of that.
it's all crazy stuff in there, like because it's Lady Gaga, but it's got that look, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
no,
wonder if
that's
that's where they've got that from.
that's exactly where they got it from.
Yeah,
But they said let's take it and let's make it worse.
let's make it worse. We'll make it Victorian for some reason. It's like, oh my
Maybe
god.
it sings Lady Gaga songs, right? And then you could put that out and you could have Wednesday next to it doing the dance.
Wednesday's doing this. Lady Gaga going on
Right?
about disease. Yeah, it's all making sense now.
It's perfect.
Making sense in the worst possible way.
Uh,
Oh, dear me. No, terrible, terrible idea. We don't do a sign off, do we?
yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, yeah.
Do we do one? Christmas has just mashed my brain. I'm just honestly, I think I'm a bit full of cold as well, so that's my
There you go.
excuse. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's a
saying
good
I'm full of
excuse.
a
And I'm just almost 46, so that's my excuse.
cold. Right, okay, sign off. What do we say? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Do remember to go and check out part 2, which is up on ScareDad's channel right now. And I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky. Bye. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm holding my cards very tightly. It's not tightly against my chest. I've just been telling you exactly what I think of these things. But I'm
Right.
just I'm not going to give full judgment on these things yet because I have a habit of doing that and then eating my words later. Like the plague, that plague doctor. I'll be so surprised if it's good. I'll hold my hands up. I'll come on here and I'll say, I'm sorry, everyone.
If it's good though, they changed it drastically.
Yeah,
I'll say
a
that
lot of
'cause
changes.
yeah.
They've got to make a lot of changes to make that good. I'm sorry.